everyone, it's Moose and thank you so much for joining me back here. Today we are going to do the first haul of 2023. I've made a semi-new rule for myself here recently, the last year or so, when it comes to hauling books. I have decided not to really buy a whole lot of books if I haven't read them before, so I usually read them digitally, whether through Libby, through Script, borrowing, whatever. And then if I like them, if I love them, and I actually want to keep them, I will go out and buy them and put them on my bookshelf. So I'm trying to be more meticulous and more thoughtful about what I buy and what I display on my bookshelves and that kind of stuff. So I don't really do a whole lot of hauls, but I do have a haul today. A lot of these came from Christmas. A lot of them were bargain shops type things. I'll tell you the prices if they were bargain because some of them were really good. Some of them I needed to complete series that I have, so I have a big collection here, a little bit of a variety. Let's jump into it. First up, I have A Heart So Fierce and Broken and A Vow So Bold and Deadly. These are books 2 and 3 of the Cursebreaker trilogy, A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kimmerer. I always want to say Kimmerer, but it's Kimmerer. Bridget Kimmerer. Oh, I can't do it. Anyways, Curse So Dark and Lonely, Beauty and the Beast retelling, loved them. Loved them. My mom got me these for Christmas because she knew I needed them for my collection. I only have the first one on my bookshelf. I enjoyed it so much that I do want to display it on my shelf, so she bought me these to complete my series. By the way, I also have a Bookstagram account, kind of, type thing. You can go check me out on Instagram. I did a semi-review. I did a post about this one if you want to hear more in-depth thoughts. We'll go ahead and start with some of the ones that I needed to complete series, I guess. I have A Sky Beyond the Storm by Saba Tahir. This is the 4th book in the Ember and the Ashes series. I have books 1, 2, and 3. I have all 3 of these, and I was only missing the 4th one. So I went ahead and bought it. I've only read the first one, so it's a little bit of a risk for me. I've read the first one, but I really liked it, and everyone raves about it. So I have high hopes. It's always iffy for me to say that whenever everyone loves something, because a lot of the times I'm on the other end of the spectrum that if everyone is raving about something, I find it a little disappointing. But in this moment, I was like, I already have the first 3. This one was on sale, $6.97, bargain sticker. So I went ahead and got it. Similarly, I have Bright We Burn by Kirsten White. This is book 3. What is the name of this series? I don't know if it actually has a name. I don't know. The first one, And I Darken, Now I Rise. I have the first 2. Again, I don't know. They've been sitting on my shelf for a while. But this one was on bargain, $5.97. So I was like, I already have the first 2. Might as well get the last one, just in case I end up loving it. So I did. Haven't read any of these in the series, but it is my goal this year in 2023 to read more of my TBR shelf. So I really need to do that now that I am buying more books for my TBR shelf. Next up, Brissinger by Christopher Paolini. Aragon is in this series. I don't know the order of this series. I'll be completely honest with you. I tried reading Aragon. I listened to it as an audiobook, and it's just too much fantasy for me to listen as an audiobook. So I stopped listening to it and was like, you know what? I'm going to read it physically because I do have the book on my shelf. I have the first one. And then I saw this one and was like, oh, I know that's part of the series as well. I'll go ahead and get it. And so I did, but I really don't know where this falls at in the series, and for some reason it does not say. It doesn't say. But this is a hardback copy. Listing price $27.50. I think I bought this for like 50 cents or $1, something like that, at a thrift store. So I couldn't not buy it. It was only $1, right? So I couldn't not buy it. Even if I end up not liking Aragon, which I liked what I remember of it, I don't know. Just in case, right? Just in case I want to collect all of them for my bookshelf. I went ahead and got this one. Similar situation here. Brandon Sanderson. I have the original 3 Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. I think you can read them by themselves, but there are also these, and I have no idea what order they're supposed to go in, so sorry. But I have Shadows of Self The Bandits of Morning, and The Alloy of the Law. Alloy of Law. Alloy of Law? I don't know. Either way, all three of these are part of the Mistborn series as a whole, and they were only 50 cents each. My library, inside my library, has a little bookstore, and they have little used books. Look at that. You see the little 50 up in the corner? 50 cents. All of them. 50 cents. I was like, you know what? $1.50 to complete a series that I already have the first 3 of. I don't know. It felt like a no-brainer to me, but I am adding books to my TBR shelf now, so I don't know. I don't know who the real winner is. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see after I finish them if I like them or not. Last one that was kind of like an impulse buy that I maybe should not have bought, but I couldn't pass up at the same time. I have Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I've heard good things about this. It's been a few years. I'm talking like 4 or 5 years maybe since this was popular, but when it was popular, I was intrigued by the concept. I thought it sounded interesting. Never really had an opportunity to pick them up, but lo and behold, at that same library bookstore, I found this one. How much did I pay for this one? $3. I found this one for $3, so I was like, you know, let's give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. I haven't read a lot of fantasy here lately. I've really been sticking to rom-coms, but one of my goals in 2023 is to read more fantasies because I love fantasy. It's my favorite. I just didn't read enough of it last year. So here we go. Truth Witch. Last impulse buy. Last book on this list that there's one more I haven't read, but I know I'll love. So these are the ones that I took a chance on that will go on my TBR. Most of them, except for the Cursebreaker trilogy. Moving on. Next up, I have a bunch of rom-coms and one thriller. I have no idea what I do with it. I have a thriller. I have a thriller that I hauled. I have the physical copy somewhere in my house. I have no idea where it is. Let me check one more place. Okay, yeah, I'll know where it is. I don't have it with me. I don't know where it is, but I did haul The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. Loved it. First thriller of 2022, first thriller really ever that I read. Ange recommended it to me. Ange, thank you. Great, kept me on the edge of my seat. I read it so quick, like 1 or 2 days, super fast. Read it on Libby and was like, I love this. I need it for my shelf, so I bought it. I bought the physical copy, but I don't know where it is. To end this book haul, I wanted to share some of my favorite rom-coms that I have read with you guys. Next up, we have some Emma St. Clair book mail, book haul. I have Falling for Your Best Friend, oh no, sorry, Falling for Your Enemy, and The 12 Holidays. Falling for Your Enemy is actually the last one in the Love Cliché series, but I found a good deal on this one on, what is it? I don't know. Pango, is that the name of it? It's a book buying app. You can buy them, you can sell them. I've sold some books on there as well. Great deal on it, so I bought it. Again, I love Emma St. Clair. I eventually want to collect all of her books for my shelves. So I had bought this one. It was great. My husband bought me this one. This is the novella that is part of the Love Cliché series. So the Love Cliché follows 5 characters that are in like a big friend group. And then this one is one of the side characters. So actually, it's her best friend. So her friend from work, her best work friend. That's what this one is about. And her little love story. It's only a little novella, but it's so sweet. It's actually probably one of my favorites in the Love Cliché series. So I wanted it. And my husband got me this one for Christmas because he knows I wanted it. Kind of on a similar Emma St. Clair kick, I have Eloise and the Grump Next Door by Emma St. Clair and Jenny Proctor. I have not read this one yet. This is the only one left on my list that I haven't read yet. But I know I will. I know I'll love it. I love anything by Emma St. Clair. I've read Jenny Proctor before as well, and I like her writing too. So I wouldn't say I have high expectations for this one. I don't really expect it to be like my new favorite book or anything, but I know it's one that I'll enjoy. So I went ahead and bought it when it came out. I just haven't read it yet. I need to. I just haven't been reading a lot physically. I even got a little book. I don't know what they're called. A book plate? Is that what it's called? Yeah, where Emma and Jenny signed it. So that's great. Little fangirling moment for me. Next up, I have The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This was the book for me that sparked my love for rom-coms last year. Looking back, not the greatest rom-com ever, and there are definitely other authors that I enjoy more than Sally Thorne. But this was my first. This one was the one that was like, man, I want to read more books like this. And so it kind of has a special place in my heart. So I needed it for my shelf just because it's like, I don't know, it's nostalgic for me for some, I don't know. But it was great. I do recommend it. Open door, right? I do think there's some spice in here. Again, it's been a while. I've read a lot of rom-coms since this one. I think it's open door though. But it was great. I'm so excited for this one. This is my last one. I just read this one, When in Rome, Sarah Adams. She's one of my new favorite rom-com authors, if not my favorite rom-com author. I love her and Emma St. Clair, probably very close together. This one though, fantastic. I just finished this one like a week ago maybe. I was going to say rented it. I borrowed it from my library and loved it so much that like 2 days later I was like, no, I gotta go buy it for myself. So here it is. When in Rome, Sarah Adams. Slow burn. It's such a good slow burn. I love a good slow burn. It might be one of my favorite tropes. Fade to Black, which I prefer. I'm not a huge like open door romance kind of gal. Grump and Sunshine. Famous like pop star, grumpy pie shop owner. It's fantastic. It was everything I ever wanted. The side characters in this are great as well. She's coming out with another book that is set in the same town, Rome, Kentucky. And the side characters in this little town make this book. I just fell in love with all of them, and I can't wait to dive back into this world in her next book. I'm so excited, and I love this one. I highly recommend it. It's a pretty quick read too. It's like 300 pages, 303. Sweet. So there we go. Those are all the books that I have hauled here recently. This should really be called like a recent book haul, but it is like my first book haul video in 2023. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe down below and leave a comment. Let me know if you've read any of these and what your thoughts were. Let me know if you've read any of these that I haven't read, and tell me like, hey, you really need to get to those soon so I can kind of bump them up on my priority list. Otherwise, you guys are great. I am so thankful for you, and I'm so blessed to have you here on my channel. You're awesome, and we'll meet back here next time. See you. Oh. Oh, I found the Maidens. Oh no, I found it. It was at the bottom of my stack. Well, here we go. The Maidens. Alex Michael Leeds. Here's proof. I bought it, I hauled it, it's going on my shelf. All right, bye. You want to look at it?
Yes. I'll bust you.